Our starting point this morning, another stock market crash on Wednesday with the Dow Jones again falling into a new correction. The closing figures wiped out the entire gains made since the U.S. President Donald Trump's inauguration. For more on this and other stuff on the market, we have our Kim Bo-kyung on the line for us. So Bo-kyung, let's begin with stocks on Wall Street. Another bad day there with the Dow closing below 20,000 for the first time in 3 years. And we also know that the trading floor of the New York Stock Exchange is now closing. Tell us more.
Yes, Taemin. So before we jump into numbers, I just want to report some breaking news that the New York Stock Exchange says it will be shutting down its trading floor temporarily from Monday and move to electronic trading because 2 people tested positive on Wednesday at screening centers at the stock exchange. It is the first time that the New York Stock Exchange will be trader-free since the September 11th attack in 2001. Again, a clear indication of how much the pandemic is spooking markets. As for the closing numbers, yet another rough session on Wall Street, as you said, sinking to a 3-year low as worldwide cases of the coronavirus topped 200,000. The Dow closed the session more than 1,300 points lower, or 6.3%, after dropping as much as 2,319 points at its intraday session low. The S&P 500 tanked 5.18%, and the Nasdaq also down 4.7%. These massive sell-offs even halted the trading in the afternoon, the second such move in 3 days. Investors were rattled as they are unsure whether the Trump administration's stimulus measures to combat COVID-19 will be able to counter the economic fallout.
Sure, and Wall Street was not alone. Also on Wednesday, European shares closed 4% lower despite the multi-billion-dollar stimulus promises, not to mention the oil prices.
Yes, markets in Europe were also in the red. Germany's stocks closed down 5.56% to 8,441 points, while France's CAC fell 5.94% to close at 3,754 points. The UK's FTSE 100 fell more than 4%, finishing the day at 5,080. Bad, but not as bad as Wall Street. And oil markets got slammed too. Oil dropped to a more than 18-year low on Wednesday as pandemic fears continued to sap demand for crude, this amid rising worries of a global recession. Brent crude dropped 8.6% to $26.26, and WTI fell over 17% to settle at $22.35 a barrel, its lowest level since 2002.
And Bo-kyoung, in the hours to come, markets in Asia will be opening up, including South Korea. Based on what we saw across the world on Wednesday, what are we looking at today?
We cannot be certain of anything at this point given what we've seen over the past couple of weeks, but I can tell you this, it's looking much like the shares will be rattled here in South Korea. The benchmark Kospi plunged on Wednesday, falling below the 1,600 mark for the first time since 2010, down 4.8%. And the secondary Kosdaq lost 5.75% to end at 485. So we will definitely have to be monitoring those numbers when they open at 9 a.m. Korea time, as they will be reacting to the markets in the U.S. Taemin?